Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy with sirens in the background, coming at you with a new Portland, Oregon guide of this week review. How are you doing? Happy Fragrant Friday to you. And of course, right when I started hitting to record, I have just a plethora of sirens going by the house. Oh well, as long as they're not for me. Anyway, you have seen the title and the description, so you know this is none other than, oh yes, Lalique per homme. It's time to get down to a classic. You know, this was my signature scent for about 5 to 6 years. I absolutely loved this scent. In fact, it was my signature scent when I first started this channel 6 years ago, and I cannot believe that I have never reviewed this one. In fact, about, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months ago, I looked through my episodes because I swore, I guess I just assumed that I had reviewed it in the very, very beginning, but I had not. So there's no way that I could not review one of my personal all-time favorites. I've had so many bottles that I can't even count, and I just happened to grab, of course, a recent one because I wanted to have a full bottle for this number one to review, but quite frankly, I just wanted it back in my collection. So it's been about maybe 2 or 3 years since I've had it in my rotation, and it's just time to bring back a classic. I absolutely love this fragrance. You know, I love the house. Lalique, of course, is known more for fine crystal glass. And very expensive, I might add. And of course, in perfumery, they hold their own. They're known as a very sophisticated perfume house. And I like all of the fragrances that I have tried so far from theirs, except for, of course, Equus. So if you have followed me over the years, you know that this one has a lion, of course. In fact, I'll just say right now, this is Lalique per homme. But sometimes it's called lion because, of course, embossed in the bottle is a giraffe. No, I'm kidding. A lion. So I had the aftershave, you might recall, of this is the one where I had the aftershave of Equus. So it had a horse in it embossed instead. And that was the one that I detested. It took me years to get through that aftershave. It was aftershave, and it smelled exactly like our old hamster's cage. I mean, exactly like the hamster cage. And so you're thinking, okay, well, of course, no one liked it. Actually, it was weird because I got compliments. I got tons of compliments on the very fragrance that I did not like at all. I don't get it. To me, it just smelled like, you know, stable. I don't want to. It just was not my thing at all. But that is the lone exception. And on top of that, I got tons and tons of compliments on it, perhaps ironically. So I must be in the minority there. So if you have tried Lalique Equus, let me know if you liked it, actually. In fact, on my Friday the 13th episode once, I put, it was what would Jason Voorhees wear for the scary movie fans out there, and that is the fragrance that I chose because he would probably want to smell like a hamster cage, which is completely at random. But anyway, it was fun doing that. So this is Lalique per homme, oftentimes referred to as lion, because they also they had 3, right? They had was it faune or fauna, Faune, I think, and it's a ram. And I'm not sure on the pronunciation. I'm assuming that's the French word for ram. And that was the third of like the animal embossed in the bottle ones, which is why people usually will say they'll refer to it by the animal and call this one lion. It is the original, and those are flankers, to my knowledge. So this is a 1997. This is way back into the 90s, and this is by the perfumer Maurice Roussel. So this is Roucel, the great Maurice Roussel, a wonderful parfumé, a top 10 favorite of mine and probably yours, because he has done so much. This is one of his best in my estimation. So that is that. Let me go to the bottle now and say, let me just say, for a cheapie, this can be had for a 4.2 ounce. So that's bigger than a normal bottle. This is a 2.5, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, yeah, it is. Yep, this is a 2.5. So this is an EDP. This can be had as a 4.2 ounce, so that's bigger than this even for on discounters between $25 and $45. That is just outstanding because this bottle really looks nice. To have it out, I mean, for that cheap, it really has. I mean, look, it's got a quality build to the cap, and the bottle is just outstanding. I mean, it really is an ode to, you know, what else they do. They're known for their glass work, and so of course their bottles resemble that, and I appreciate that a lot. Great, everything is great on this bottle. The only thing, which is I got it through a discounter, that I'm not going to take off or anything, but you can see that they you can kind of see the sticker is sticking out off to one side, but that's not the perfume house's fault. So actually, when it comes to bottle, this is a great way to, you know, if you're looking for a positive review from me, you're going to get it, because there's nothing I can do to take off here at all for the bottle. Absolutely outstanding. Everything about it. Look at, highly ergonomic. I'll give you a spray. I mean, just a wonderful atomizer. I keep this one, and I kept it out when I had it in the past. I would always keep my fragrances in the closet, you know, away from the sun and everything. The one exception, though, is, man, after all these years, I still like to keep out Lalique. I think it just looks really, really nice. There's nothing cheap about it other than the price. So now you're really talking my language. The batch code is 103906G18, and that puts it at July 2018. There you go. Information is there. Like I said, you can see the sticker kind of sticking out over the bottle. I'm not a fan of that, but that is probably not the fault of the house. But then again, it very well could be, now that I think about it. So there's the information. Everything's nice. Everything's clear. Everything is what you would expect. In fact, this is probably what got it sent to the discounters, is the defect. You see, it's kind of like an outlet situation. Okay, I've looked way too much into that. So the fact that you can get this for $25 to $45 is just simply outstanding. If you're an older gentleman, you know, you want to wear something classic and confident and gentlemanly, you really won't find anything better if you want a bang for your buck. Now let's get down to the notes. Like I said, 1997 woody aromatic. I'm going to list the ones that I pick, that I get out of this. It has a whole bunch, but you really get lavender, then you get cedar, and then the base you get sandalwood. Now, I want to say in the mid, if this is what, to me, this is what Lily of the Valley is, when Lily of the Valley is done right for a men's fragrance. That's what this is. This one has Lily of the Valley. For those of you who think that's too, you know, feminine for you, don't, because it is a very gentlemanly, perhaps, right? Sophisticated, certainly, but it is not too feminine at all. One of the complaints that could be had by some people, and of course I vehemently disagree, but I could see how some of the 20-year-olds might say something like, this is a grandma-ish fragrance. I just don't agree. In fact, you guys know I typically don't like the vintage, you know, kind of rose. I don't like a lot of the fragrances that the other reviewers like, actually. But this is one I think that we could all come to an agreement on in that regard. So for me, this is Lily of the Valley done right for a men's fragrance. And yeah, you're just going to get lavender, cedar. I think I neglected that one. Lavender, cedar, Lily of the Valley, and sandalwood. Those are the big players for me. This is just an elegant sandalwood. It's a very, very elegant sandalwood with just a nice, flying under the radar element of cedar to it. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, it is a classic. It's one I keep coming back to. It's very 90s, so some will find it a dated scent. I will concede to you, I can't see too many people, you know, under 25, even under 30, rocking this juice. I disagree, but I do think in all practice, I don't think you're going to see that play out. So let me just go ahead and do age right now then. I'm going to say that this one is definitely a 30 and up. In terms of people who actually wanted it, own it, and buy it, I think you're going to see this as a sophisticated, distinguished gentleman scent. It has a regal feel to it on the cheap, which is speaking my language. That's right up my alley, okay? I'm kind of the target audience for this fragrance. And so I have a soft spot for it because there's just something about it that just really, you guys know how that is when there's just one. I just recently sampled Essenza. So it'd be what? Colonia Essenza by Acqua di Parma. And that was another one that it just has a certain something that goes beyond the notes that you just absolutely find you're just obsessed with, right? Same thing with Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme. Just something about certain fragrances. Prada Man was another one. Oh man, I can just keep going on and on for the ones that I have obsessed over the years. Over. So that is the age. We're going to go 35. Let's just say 30. 30 and up is what we're going to go with on age. This one is a distinguished gentleman's scent. So let's do gender too. So we're going to go feminine, masculine here, unisex. This one is definitely over here. I would call it just along the unisex border, right? It's barely into the masculine. A woman could pull this off. Absolutely. It's got rose. It's got lily of the valley. Of course she could. And I would put this it is a pour homme, right? It's for men. But I would say this would probably be, why don't we say a 70-30? I think, let's go 75-25. 75% of the people who actually wear it, own it, bought it, wanted it will be men, and 25% will be women. They could definitely, if you're a woman watching this, you could absolutely pull this off. In fact, really, it's the other way around. I would say if you're a guy in your 20s looking for a clubbing scent, this one's probably not gonna cut the mustard for you. It's just really not what that's meant for. It's really more of a. It has a very distinguished, sophisticated feel to it, and that's why I absolutely love it for the price point. All right, okay, so that's age, that's gender. Let's do season. This is a classic. To me, it's a classic fall. I associate this as a fall scent. Not necessarily even spring. Usually they go fall, spring, don't they? And then, or sometimes fall, winter. But I do see it for cooler climates. So maybe spring, but I really see this as a fall and even dipping into winter scent. That said, it was my signature scent for about, let's just say, 6 years, and I went through a multitude of bottles, and I wore it every single day. So can you wear it every day? Yes, because you can. I know you can. I did. Would it get too cloying in the heat? Not in my estimation. That's just my opinion. I don't think so. This is another one that you could wear. You could wear any time. This is day, night, office, romantic night in, romantic night out. I mean, it's a highly versatile. To me, it's highly versatile for a certain age group. So really, for the 30 and up crowd, I just hope that a lot of you don't think this is too grandma-ish, because I know that category. Some of these notes suggest that. I just do not agree. I think this one is just an elegant gentleman's fragrance. Okay, so 75-25 on gender, and then the season. I'm going to go fall, but I could see a fall-winter kind of happening. Cooler climates is where this will shine. A woody aromatic, though, it's certainly not going to. And it's got rosemary, it's got lavender. I certainly think this would shine in the spring, and it was not too cloying for me. I've worn it this last week, and it's been high heat with high humidity, and I've done just great. So I have zero concerns there on season. And event, like I said, this one is one of those rare gems that could be worn really anywhere. Work, out, in, I mean, maybe not to a barbecue, maybe not t-shirt, says a guy who's wearing a t-shirt. See what I mean? I mean, it's just any event, really. I think it would shine better in the business casual, maybe a more formal setting, but by all means, you could wear this anywhere. The only thing is, it is an EDP and functions as one, so I'd be careful at work with this one and go easy on the trigger, as they say. Okay, so let's dive into the longevity projection and sillage. Usually I get a little cranky, and I'm a little cantankerous in this category. I have nothing but good news here. This really does function as an EDP that you would want. So no bad news, actually. When it comes to longevity, you will get a rock solid 8 to 10, perhaps closer to 8, but 8 to 10. Even with the formulation of July of 18, this one still does great for me. It is refined, and so the projection is going to be, quite pronounced for like 2 to 3, and then it's going to slowly start to get closer to the skin. It's not a skin scent, though. It projects very, very well. I really like that about it. Sillage coming in rooms, walking past people. Again, you will definitely get noticed. People will ask you what you're wearing. Especially if you live in an area where, a lot of, or in a profession where a lot of people don't wear fragrance, you will get noticed and people will ask you what you're wearing. Because it is an original, it is a very original fragrance, especially now. Perhaps in 1997, I'll concede that maybe it wasn't. But I mean, if you're walking around rocking this juice, people will ask you because, is it the rugged masculine fragrance? No. Is it something like, a clubbing scent? No. It is perhaps for the older gentleman, but it is, I guess it wouldn't be eye-catching. It is nose-catching. You will get noticed, and you will get asked, and you also will get unsolicited compliments with this fragrance. I find it to be a no-lose. I wouldn't be surprised, though. If my channel were bigger and I got more feedback and comments, I could see how some guys would be saying, it smells like my grandma and that kind of stuff. I just don't agree. What do you want me to say? So when it comes to the actual amount of sprays for my rating out of my 5 spray system, there is no way I could do anything less than a 5 out of 5. In fact, I would here's my statement of the decade. I'd be highly suspicious of any reviewer, especially reviewers 30 and up, but any reviewer who would not give this a 5 out of 5 in their system, or 10 out of 10, whatever, because this one is truly, truly outstanding. It really is. It is regal, sophisticated, elegant, distinguished, and the list goes on. Man, I love this thing. So I'm going to go 5 out of 5, and you might be thinking, wait a minute, aren't you going to give it the coveted bonus spray that I have only given out to 2 fragrances? Actually, I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is because of what I said earlier. To me, a 6 out of 5, and I give the bonus, it's like this eye-opening, oh my God, everyone must go out and buy this immediately. This is truly, truly a timeless classic, and everyone in any age group would love this. I can't say that. I can't say that about this fragrance because I would have reservations if you are, 15, 16 on up to 28, 29, 30, in that age group. I don't know that this one is going to be one that would do that for you. Do I still think it's a classic, though? I know it is. Well, it is. It's approaching what, 36? Did I do my math right? 20? No, I did not. So it's approaching 30 years. So 26 years old. Yes, it's 26, and it's still going strong now. So, if that doesn't make it a classic, I don't know what does. So, kudos to them. Lalique pour homme, it's been a great release for them over the years, and I will just keep reaching for this one. And I'm so happy that I have it back in my collection, because this week it's been fun to take a walk down memory lane from the 2000 kind of, the 2010s, we'll call it, pretty much that whole decade I was rocking this juice. And then once I started really getting into the reviews, of course, then I started to buy others and expand my collection. But this is an oldie but a goodie, a sentimental for sure, a favorite of mine. Love the house, love the fragrance, love the bottle, love everything about it. Lily of the Valley done right for bros. And so we're going to go 5 out of 5 sprays for Lalique per homme. I'll go 1 on each wrist, 1 on the inside of the elbow, since that must be a new thing. And then I will go right on the very shirt, the exact spotted cow t-shirt that I wore on my first episode I ever did in 2017. 6 years ago. And the shirt is still going strong. Little stinky, but still going strong. Boom. Boom. Oh, man. Boom. Boom. And 5 out of 5. You know, I have thoroughly enjoyed this one. I cannot believe that I hadn't reviewed this one, and now I have. So my life is complete, and I really appreciate you watching this episode. And let me know your thoughts. Have you tried Lalique par homme? Do you call it lion? Have you tried Equus and it's got the horse on it and you think it's amazing? I still have, to this day, I have no idea why anyone likes that, but that's just me. And I got so many compliments on that one. It drove me, I got frustrated actually, because people would compliment me and I was like, oh, come on, you can't compliment me on ones I don't like, right? That's just not fair. And then the ones, I have some that I absolutely adore and then I've never gotten any compliments on at all. That stings, that stings. So let me know your thoughts. This one would definitely make anybody's best cheapie list. No doubt. In fact, it's hard not to even, like, for the age group 30 and up, this is probably the best cheapie, or at least a top 3 cheapie of all time. In fact, Lalique themselves would be, rolling their eyes at the notion that this gem here is a cheapie. I mean, they sell it for, it's not cheap if you buy it from Nordstrom's or wherever, but it can be had quite readily at the discounters. I've always got it through discounters. In fact, the testers, I think, were the ones where I got a 4.2 ounce at $25, $28, something like that. And that is just really, really outstanding. So Viking Creed Viking, whatever, $440 a bottle. Sorry, it's just not going to happen when you can get something like this for a tenth of the price. Wow. So you take care. Let me know what your scent of the day is if you don't have anything to say about this one. And always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Come on. Spotted cow, Chicago Cubs, wine in the background, Irish whiskey, Lalique per homme, 5 out of 5. What more do you want? Okay? What more do you want from that cologne guy?